Attention, Real Madrid fans. Urgent news, Rodrigo might be leaving the club, and his potential destination could surprise many. In addition, Real Madrid is working on a bold move to sign a top Premier League defender without spending a single cent. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything about the biggest club in the world. Here, you get breaking news, deep analysis, and behind-the-scenes Real Madrid coverage every day. Let's get straight to the point. Rodrigo's future is more uncertain than ever. The Brazilian forward is being targeted by major European clubs, and Real Madrid is studying the possibility of using him in a strategic deal with Manchester City to try to sign none other than Rodri, Florentino Perez's top choice to replace Toni Kroos. At just 24 years old, Rodrigo has seen his role in the squad decrease. Under Carlo Ancelotti, he was already losing minutes, and with the arrival of Xabi Alonso, things have gotten worse. For example, in the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, he started only one match, which reportedly left him frustrated. The Brazilian has made it clear he does not want to continue playing outside of his favorite position, the left wing. And that desire is precisely what's shaking up the transfer market. According to journalist Rudy Galletti from Team Talk, Liverpool is prepared to make a concrete offer for Rodrigo, to replace Luis Diaz, who was sold to Bayern Munich. The offer would be around €90 million, plus performance bonuses. Rodrigo is reportedly pleased with the proposal and is inclined to accept a move to Anfield. Arsenal and Tottenham have also expressed interest in the player, but have yet to make formal offers. As for Manchester United, despite recent rumors, Rodrigo doesn't seem interested. According to Mundo Deportivo, the Brazilian does not view Old Trafford as an attractive destination, mainly due to Ruben Amorim's tactical system, which uses wingbacks instead of traditional wingers. United isn't an option that appeals to me, the player reportedly said, according to sources close to him. Meanwhile, Real Madrid is working on an even more ambitious plan, using Rodrigo as leverage in an attempt to convince Manchester City to part ways with Rodri, the Spanish midfielder seen as the perfect successor to Kroos. Florentino Perez dreams of this signing, but knows that the citizens are not willing to sell him this summer. Still, a swap involving Rodrigo is being considered behind the scenes, although it would be extremely difficult to pull off. Rodrigo has also attracted interest from Turkish club Fenerbahce, and the request came from a familiar face, Jose Mourinho. The Portuguese manager, newly appointed to the Turkish club, personally requested the Brazilian on loan. But Real Madrid has no intention of releasing the player under those terms. The board values Rodrigo at around €100 million and would only agree to a permanent deal. His contract runs until 2028, and he is still seen as a valuable asset. Besides Fenerbahce, Middle Eastern clubs like Al Nassr are also eyeing the forward, but for now, Rodrigo is prioritizing staying in Europe and competing in the Premier League. On the other hand, while Rodrigo's situation remains unresolved, Real Madrid is already moving to strengthen its defense with a masterstroke. According to Fishages, the club has contacted Liverpool defender Ibrahima Konate and made a very specific request, not to renew his contract with the Reds. The plan is simple and clever. Convince Konate not to sign an extension with the English club so Real Madrid can make a formal offer in January 2026 and sign him for free in the summer when his contract expires. This strategy has worked before with players like Alaba, Rodrygo, and more recently, Mbappe. Konate, 26, is reportedly unhappy with the terms offered by Liverpool, and talks have stalled. This set off alarms at Anfield, especially after Alexander-Arnold's departure to Real Madrid. The club does not want to lose another key player without compensation. Xabi Alonso has already given the green light for the signing. The coach sees Konate as a fundamental piece for Real Madrid's future backline, thanks to his combination of physicality, speed, and experience in major games for both club and country. If the strategy succeeds, Real could secure one of the Premier League's best defenders without paying a transfer fee, a move that highlights the intelligence and patience of the Madrid board. Meanwhile, the squad is set to regroup in the coming days for pre-season, and Rodrigo will be there. According to Mundo Deportivo, he's expected to have a direct conversation with Xabi Alonso to decide his future. If convinced to stay, he will fight for more playing time. Otherwise, a move to England seems likely. Another point that can't be ignored is Rodrigo's personal stance. Despite being unhappy with his reduced role at Real Madrid, he still holds deep affection for the club and has publicly stated he is happy in Madrid. However, football can be unforgiving. When a player loses his spot and the board signals he might be used as a bargaining chip, staying becomes only a temporary formality. Rodrigo knows that with the arrival of Alexander-Arnold and the likely inclusion of Endrick in the first team, competition in the attacking sector will intensify. And if Real Madrid actually goes ahead with its plan to sign Haaland in the near future, Rodrigo's opportunities will shrink even further. That's why the Premier League is emerging as an increasingly likely destination. The fast-paced, physical style of English football suits Rodrigo's profile perfectly. Known for his speed, one-on-one ability, and vision, he could thrive at clubs like Liverpool, especially after Luis Diaz's departure. Sources close to the player say he liked the salary offered by the English club. It's believed Rodrigo is aiming to earn around €12 million per year at his next club. While that figure is high, it's not out of reach for giants like Liverpool or even Manchester City, although the citizens are currently focused on keeping Rodri and strengthening other areas of the squad. Speaking of Rodri, it's worth noting that Florentino Perez's plan goes far beyond a simple swap. He knows City will be reluctant to let go of their midfield general, a player Pep Guardiola sees as irreplaceable. However, Madrid's board believes a proposal involving Rodrigo, a young, versatile, and internationally respected player, could at least open a line of negotiation. Rodri is seen as Kroos's natural successor, not just because of his ability to control the game, but also for his tactical intelligence and leadership. For Florentino, he's the missing piece to complete the next Galactico midfield alongside Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Bellingham. Even if this deal doesn't happen during this window, Real Madrid plans to maintain contact with the players' camp and work quietly toward a future transfer. The idea is to show Rodri he would be an undisputed starter in Madrid and a key figure in the club's long-term project. Now, back to the Konate plan. It's important to understand the context behind this strategy. Real Madrid has become a master at identifying players with expiring contracts and acting at the perfect time. That's how they landed David Alaba from Bayern Munich, Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea, and recently Kylian Mbappe, all without paying transfer fees. The pursuit of Konate follows the same logic. The Frenchman is just 26 years old and, despite some injury issues in the past, is considered one of the most complete defenders in Europe. He's good with the ball, dominant in the air, and has impressive speed for his size. Real Madrid's leadership has been monitoring Konate for at least 2 seasons, but now, with the opportunity to sign him for free, their interest has intensified. The board is aware that they'll face competition, especially from PSG, who are also keeping an eye on the situation. Still, they believe the prestige of playing for Madrid and the promise of a starting role in a renewed defense could tilt the scales. In addition, with the possibility of not renewing the contracts of players like Rudiger and Alaba in the long run, the club needs to plan ahead. Xabi Alonso, who knows the Premier League well, immediately approved the idea and believes Konate has everything needed to adapt to Real's style of play. Behind the scenes in Valdebebas, things are heating up. Executives are closely monitoring Konate's contract situation and have made it clear to his agents that, if the player resists renewing with Liverpool, a formal offer will arrive as soon as the rules allow, in January 2026. And it's precisely this kind of long-term planning that sets Real Madrid apart from other European clubs. While many act impulsively and spend fortunes on emergency signings, Madrid operates with composure, patience, and strategy, always aiming for a balance between financial and sporting goals. Finally, all these moves signal a new era at Real Madrid. Under Xabi Alonso, the club is redefining its identity on and off the pitch. Promising youth, targeted reinforcements, and market intelligence will be the trademarks of this new era. The objective is clear: to keep the club at the top of European football with a squad that's balanced, versatile, and hungry for trophies. And you, Madridista? Do you think the club is right to consider letting Rodrigo go to make room for new stars? Would you like to see Rodri controlling the midfield, or do you prefer another option? And what about Konate? Does he have what it takes to become the new leader of Madrid's defense? Leave your comment below, hit the like button, and share this video with other Madrid fans to spread the word. Your support is essential for the channel to keep growing and bringing you the best and most up-to-date news about our Real Madrid. Thank you so much for sticking with us, Madridista. See you in the next video with more updates, behind-the-scenes access, and analysis of the greatest club on the planet. Until next time.